Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is a live recording of a 50-minute full body flow. Find a little bit of space to move, and let's get started. Okay, I'm not going to use any props today, and we'll start just sitting down in a comfy seat. And you might place your hands on your knees to start, or maybe in your lap, and then let your eyes just close. The slow, deep breath in. Bring some length into your spine. And let it go. You can take another slow, deep breath in. Kind of push your sit bones into the ground a little. And let it go. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. You might start to let your chin tip down towards your collarbone. And just continue to notice your breath. No need to put any effort into your breath right now. Just notice it though. Let your shoulders fall from your ears. Maybe feel your belly moving a little bit with each breath. And if you do have your chin tipping forward, just slowly start to lift it again. And maybe bring a touch more length into your spine. You might start to open your eyes or keep them closed. But we're going to reach our arms forwards. Thumbs can turn down. Right hand can cross over the left one. Interlacing the fingers, bringing the palms together. You can keep your arms reaching out. You could lower your hands towards your belly. Maybe pull them up towards the chin for a moment. And then just start to bring your hands back down and forwards in front of you. And maybe you'll lift your arms, kind of frame your head. Maybe give your head a little squeeze. And then bring your arms back down in front of your chest. And then you can let your hands go from one another and just take your left one over top. Interlace your fingers again, palms together. Stay here or drop your hands to your belly and maybe pull them up towards the chin. Start to make your way back, unwind the arms, but you can float them up. Maybe frame your head or give your head a little hug with your arms. And then let them come back down in front of you. You can release your hands from one another. You could bring your hands back to your knees or your lap. Maybe even take a little shake of the wrists, the fingers. And if your eyes happen to still be closed, you might open them up now. We're going to make our way into tabletop onto our hands and knees. So come on over and maybe give your hips a little bit of a sway side to side. And then with an inhale, dropping your belly down and lifting your chest and maybe your chin too. As you exhale, round your spine, push into your hands, tuck your chin towards your collarbone. Inhale, drop back down, arch through the back. And exhale as you round, give your belly a squeeze. One more breath here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhale as you slowly round through the spine. And then let an inhale bring you back to just a neutral place. Scoot your knees out wider, your big toes together. You can start to send your hips back towards your heels, walking your hands a little further in front of you. Push into your palms a little. Lengthen through your arms a little as you send your hips back towards your heels. And then you can slowly start to melt it down, maybe until your forehead rests on your mat. Relax your shoulders a touch. Take a breath. Feel your belly soften a little bit more. Just slowing down your day. And let the next inhale you take start to lift you all the way back up and into your tabletop. Take your time. Move your hands under your shoulders, bring your knees in under the hips, and maybe take a little sway of the hips side to side. And then with a big inhale, drop your belly back down. Lift your chest, your chin, hold it here for a moment. Drop your belly, arch your back, and maybe try to turn your elbow creases to face forwards ever so slightly. Stay for an inhale, and then as you exhale, round the spine. Bring your chin towards your collarbone, push into your hands. Try to open up, create space between your shoulder blades. Hold it here. Lift your belly button a little higher towards your spine. And then let an inhale bring you back to a neutral place again, a long, flat spine. You can tuck your toes if they aren't already tucked. And then your knees can lift up and into your downward facing dog. You might pedal your feet a few times, push into your hands a little bit more. You might be still. But let's take a slow, deep breath in and a slow, deep breath out. Do that again. A deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let your next inhale bring your gaze forwards. And as you exhale, walk your feet to the top of your mat. Once you get there, inhale for a half lift. As you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, reaching up, and exhale, let your arms fall to your sides and maybe roll the shoulders back and down. So we're gonna do this arms reaching out in front, thumbs down, hands crossing, maybe the right one over the left. We're going to do this a few times today, and it's just optional if you choose to add it in a few different areas. So let's add it in now though, standing. Right hand over the left one, thumbs down, palms together, fingers interlaced. Maybe you'll drop your hands to your belly and pull them to the chin. Maybe you won't. You're just going to start to work your way back, arms in front, and maybe up above the head. Push into your feet, stand tall, and then let your arms fall back in front of you. Let them go, but the left hand can come over the right. Interlace the fingers, either stay here or drop your hands to your belly, up by the chin maybe. Making your way back, reaching forwards, and then up. Stand tall, maybe hug your head with your arms, and then just let your arms fall back down in front of the chest. Let your hands go. Your arms can fall to your sides. If you need a little wrist shake, you can take one. Roll your shoulders back and down though, and then take a big inhale to reach up. As you exhale, fold forwards. We're going to inhale into a half lift and exhale to fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, reaching up. Exhale, let your arms fall to your sides. Shoulder roll. So you can add your crossed arms the right over top of the left as we inhale and reach up. As we exhale and fold forwards, you might start to bring your hands towards your belly, maybe up by the chin, and keep folding. And then inhale into a half lift. Bring your hands back to your belly. Let them go as you exhale and fold. Inhale, reaching your arms up. Exhale, lower your arms to your sides. Reaching your arms in front again. The left one will cross over the right. Inhale to reach up. Exhale as you fold. Your hands might start to move to the belly, maybe to the chin. Inhale for a half lift. Bring your hands back to your belly and in front. Exhale to fold. Let your hands go and inhale. Come all the way back up. And exhale, let your arms fall to your sides. Okay, let's do that 2 more times. One hand on top and then we'll switch. So just so we've got it. Right hand on top of the left. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to slowly fold, maybe bringing the hands to the belly, to the chin. Inhale for a half lift, unwind the arms, and exhale to fold. Release your hands down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, reach up. Exhale, let your arms come to your sides. As you inhale, reaching forwards, the left might end up over top of the right. Keep reaching up. Exhale to fold, maybe bringing the hands to the belly, to the chin. Inhale to a half lift, bring your hands back. Exhale as you fold, release your hands down. And then inhale, come all the way back up to standing. And exhale, let your arms fall to your sides. A little complicated, I know. Roll the shoulders back and down. Don't cross your arms this time. Just take a big inhale to reach up and exhale, fold forwards. Nothing fancy. Inhale for a half lift and exhale to fold. We're going to plant our hands, take our feet all the way back and into downward facing dog, pushing into the hands, sending your hips nice and high, maybe a little pedal of the feet. And then use a nice big inhale to look forwards again. As you exhale, walk your feet back up to the top of your mat. Take an inhale for a half lift. Exhale as you fold forwards. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, let your arms fall to your sides. Now we're going to stay standing. Your feet can stay side by side, or you can cross your right foot in front of the left. Our arms are going to reach in front, thumbs down, right hand over the left, and then lifting up. So take your time here if you don't want your wrists to be crossed again. Maybe we've done too much so far, but the legs, give them a little squeeze together if you have them crossed too. Standing nice and tall and maybe taking a little tip over towards the left side. Maybe hug your head with your arm. Let an inhale bring you back. So you're standing tall again. Let your arms fall in front of you. Let them go to your sides, maybe a little shoulder roll. If you're crossing your legs, you can let them uncross. And then your left foot can come in front of the right one. Arms in front, thumbs down, left hand over the right. And sweeping the arms up. And maybe a little tip to the side. Feel that side stretch. Give those legs a little squeeze. And then use an inhale to come back up. Let your arms fall in front of the chest again. Let your hands go. Your arms can continue to fall to your sides. If your legs are crossed, let them uncross. Take a little shoulder roll. And then with an inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale into a half lift. As you exhale, fold again, plant your hands, step your feet back into downward dog. Push into your hands a little more. Send your hips a little bit higher. Stay for an inhale. As you exhale, bring your knees down to your mat into tabletop. And then we're going to take our right arm and bring it under our chest. So you can either reach the left arm in front and slide the right arm under and come down as low as you want to go. Or we can take our left hand, it can hold the right one and maybe pull the right arm a little bit more over towards the left side. If you can bring the shoulder and the arm and the head all the way down, you can do this. But if you need your left hand to support you, to push into it a little, you don't have to hold your hands. So if you are holding your hands, as gentle as you let them go. And we can all use an inhale to lift the chest up, kind of crawl your way back into your tabletop, maybe take a little sway through the hips, and then we'll switch sides. So either reach your right arm out in front and keep it there, left arm going under the chest, or hold your left hand with your right one, maybe slide it a little further towards the right side, but then trying to drop everything down. By holding the hand, you might feel a little more through your back. Are holding your hands though, let them go. Let an inhale bring you back up to tabletop. Hands under your shoulders. Give your hips a little bit of a sway and then tuck your toes. Lift your knees, downward facing dog. Push into your hands, feel your shoulders. And then with a big inhale, start to look towards your hands and exhale. Walk your feet to the top of your mat. Once you get there, inhale into a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reaching up. Exhale, let your arms fall to your sides. We're going to step our left foot back a little bit. So facing forwards, chest, belly button facing forwards, and then you can kind of widen your feet as much as you'd like, but you're balanced, you're balanced. Feet are down, heels are down, arms are reaching out in front. Now your hands could stay on your hips. You don't have to reach your arms out in front and do the wrist cross, but if you're feeling it today, thumbs down, right over top of the left. Okay, so from here, we can keep our arms out in front. We are going to be tipping forwards over our front leg though. So you might start to bring your hands towards your belly and maybe pull them up towards the chin and maybe fold a little more, but go slow here. And remember, you don't have to wind your arms, your hands together. You can have them wherever you want them to be. A little tip forwards though. Feel the stretch through your right leg. As you lift up, and if your hands are by your chin, you might start to unwind your arms along the way, or just wait until you get to the top. And then let your arms fall to your sides. You need a little wrist shake, take it. The left foot can come up and the right foot can come back. Find your balance, your pyramid stance, chest shining forwards, arms out, maybe thumbs down. Left over top of the right this time, or just have your hands at your sides, wherever you want them to be. But as we slowly tip, you might pull the hands in and maybe up to the chin. But think about that left leg more than your arms. Think about breathing. Slowly letting the upper body get a little bit heavier. And then as you start to lift again, and if your arms are wound together, you might unwind them along the way or just wait until you get to the top. Let them go to your sides though, maybe a little wrist shake. You can bring your back foot to the top. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then with an inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. Take an inhale for a half lift. And exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step your feet back into downward dog for just a nice big inhale. And then exhale, lower your knees. You can bring them out nice and wide, finding your child's pose. So send the hips back. If you want your arms to be a pillow for your forehead, you can use them, or you can use an actual pillow. But rest your forehead on something. Close your eyes. Notice your belly moving a little bit with your breath. When you are feeling good to lift up, use an inhale to come back into your tabletop. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, maybe a little sway side to side. And then let's cross our ankles and sit down. Our legs out in front. You might just give your knees a bit of a hug first. A little rock side to side, maybe. And then we'll bring our right leg out in front. Our left foot can find the inner thigh to start. With an inhale, bring some length into your spine. As you exhale, you can start to fold forwards, maybe pointing your toes up. You're folding. Let an inhale bring you back up. You can send your left leg out next to the right one. We're just going to turn over onto our right side and then reach for our foot. Get into your quads a little bit. Hugging your heel towards your glutes, maybe from your right forearm. If you are holding your foot, just let it go and kind of pivot yourself back so that you are seated again. Keep your left leg out and bring your right foot to your inner thigh. And an inhale to lengthen the spine, maybe pointing your left toes up. Exhale to fold for a few breaths if you'd like. You are folding forward. Let an inhale bring you back up and send your right leg out. Kind of tip over to the left side. Maybe come onto your forearm. Grab your foot. Hug your heel towards your glutes. If you have your foot, let it go. Pivot yourself back to seated, legs in front, but you can bend your knees and maybe give them a nice hug. Take a rock side to side. Now we're going to stay seated. for a little bit. So if you want to cross your legs, we'll switch which way we are crossing them in a few moments. But find a comfortable seat where your arms are free to move and we can reach them out nice and wide. We can cross the left arm over top of the right one, and maybe you'll hug your shoulders. Maybe you'll walk your hands towards one another along your upper back. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. You can stay holding the shoulders, or maybe it's more the elbows, the forearms, or if you can lift your hands and bring them together for your eagle arms, your fingers might be pointing up. You might feel some openness through the upper back. Arms are wound together. Just start to release, reach them out. Maybe your hands will find your knees for a moment. You need a little shoulder wiggle. You're sitting cross-legged. Cross your legs the other way, reaching your arms back out. Your right arm can cross over the left one this time. Elbows maybe halfway to the shoulders, maybe all the way to the shoulders. Snug things up as much as you can. You're going to stack your elbows on top of one another, and then maybe the hands will lift. Palms trying to find one another, but fingers pointing up a little bit. Take another breath. And then just start to unwind the arms. Maybe bring your hands back to your knees. Maybe a little shoulder roll. You want to uncross your legs. Maybe give your knees a squeeze. Take a rock side to side. And we are going to be laying down on our backs. So you can find your way down. Maybe you'll hug your knees towards your chest or keep your feet down. But if you want to rock or sway side to side a few times. Now, if you have your feet lifted up right now, you're hugging your knees, you might start to bring them back to the ground. So we're going to be reaching our arms up above us, thumbs turning to point towards the bottom of the mat. If you just want your hands side by side, you can do that too. But if you want to cross your right hand over top of the left one, and then you can continue to reach the arms up, or you can let them fall to the ground beside your head, above your head. Maybe give your palms a little bit of a squeeze. Maybe give your head a little bit of a squeeze. Now, if you brought your arms to the ground beside your head, whether your wrists are crossed or not, doesn't matter, whatever feels good for you. We're going to float our arms back up, straight up above the chest. If you want to lift one knee towards the chest and then maybe the other, if you have to use your hands to help your legs move and lift the feet, you can do that too. Now we can just be on our back here, arms lifted, feet lifted maybe. You can start to lift your feet higher if you want to. Maybe it's just one, maybe it's both. Just give your belly button a little squeeze, push your low back into the ground a little bit so you can feel some heat through the tummy. And then maybe without using your hands, you can start to bring your feet back down, knees towards the chest, eventually lowering the feet to the ground. Use your hands if you need, or don't. But once your feet are planted again, let your hands go from one another. Arms to your sides for a moment. Maybe let your palms just face up. Maybe you need a finger wiggle or a little wrist shake. And then we're just going to reach our arms back up. You don't have to do the wrist cross. You can just hold your hands together or keep them separated even. Left hand, though, might be crossing over the right one. Palms together, arms falling to the ground beside your head, framing your head, maybe hugging your head. Your arms are down on the ground or halfway there. Start to bring them back up, straight above the chest, maybe. Maybe without any hands, you're able to bring the knees to the chest again, floating the feet. Maybe they continue to lift higher and higher. Maybe give your belly a squeeze again. Try to push your spine into the ground a little bit. Try to find that little bit of fire. Slowly letting your feet lower again, maybe one at a time, maybe both together, all the way to the ground eventually. And then just letting your hands go, bring them back down beside you. Maybe let your palms face up and be still for a moment or move a little bit. Then we're just going to be turning our palms to face down. Maybe moving them towards the hips. Maybe bending the elbows so that the hands are maybe a little bit more under the back. You can slide your hands under your back, both of them, if you want to. Maybe your fingers touch one another. Maybe they don't, but with your palms facing down somewhere beside you or under you. Soften your shoulders. There's my helper. If you have your hands actually under your back, you can start to slide them back out. You want to lift your hands up and just take a couple wrist circles. You can do that too. And then we're going to leave our arms alone for a bit and focus on our legs just a touch more. So figure 4. Your right foot can start to lift and rest on top of your left quad. You can lift your left foot up if you'd like. You can hold your legs if you want to. You're holding the back of your left leg somewhere. You might just think about your hands and your wrists. So you might do a little just interlace of the fingers, just a little one so that your hands stay in one spot. And then maybe you'll kind of try to push your left leg away from your chest. Maybe feel a little stretch through the hands, through the wrists. It's a little micro movement that you can't really see. Just feel. You have your left foot lifted and start to bring it down. Let go of your leg if you're holding it, and uncross your legs as well. Maybe a little sway of the knees. Switching sides to the left foot, crossing over the right. Maybe lifting the right foot up, maybe holding onto the back of the right leg somewhere. And then maybe trying to let that right leg get a little heavier, pull away from the chest a little bit, just to stretch the hands a touch. If you have your right foot lifted, start to bring it down and uncross the legs and maybe take a little bit of a sway side to side with the knee. We're going to be rolling over onto our left side, all the way over. You might place your head in your hands. You might come up onto your forearm. Let's bring our knees in front a little bit more though. Maybe they're going straight out from the hips or somewhere close to. Then you can keep your top leg bent and maybe slide your bottom leg down again. And just let the hips kind of tip forwards. Maybe you can bring your knee all the way to the floor, the ground, the right knee. So let those hips tip forwards a little bit. And then from here, you might turn the chest back a little, lift it up a little. Maybe you can look towards your bottom foot. Maybe your right hand will come to the ground behind you or be on top of your leg. Maybe you'll start to bend your left leg and try to move your foot towards your right hand, and maybe it will grab or connect. Maybe it will. And as you let the right leg be heavy and the chest turn a little, feeling a twist and a whole lot of other things maybe. If you did happen to catch your foot or get halfway there, just slide your left leg back out. Bring your right hand in front of you too. So you can slide both of your knees back over towards that left side in front of you. Maybe stack your legs as best you can on top of one another. And then we're just gonna lay ourselves down if you're on your forearm, keeping your legs where they are again, but maybe try to lay your shoulders down, your chest down, and twist. Maybe reach your arms out a little more. Try to get your shoulders to touch the ground. And then just slowly start to lift your legs. Come out of your twist so that you're flat on your back again. Scooch things back to center. Knees pointing up, maybe a little sway of the knees side to side. And then we can tip all the way over towards the right. Maybe your head will rest in your hand. Maybe you will be on your forearm. Put my back to you for a moment. You might take a peek at your knees, try to bring them in line with your hips as best you can. If you want to continue to have both legs bent, or if you want to send your bottom leg long and maybe let the hips keep tipping over so that the left knee gets close to the ground, and then maybe turning the chest and twisting from here, the left hand somewhere behind you, on top of you. Maybe that right leg will start to bend. Maybe your foot will
Try to come close to your hand. Maybe you're able to catch your foot and keep twisting, but maybe not. And just letting your bottom leg go back out long and then slide it back in so that both of your knees are stacking on top of one another again, maybe even the feet as well. And then if you can lay your chest down, try to twist, reach your arms out, try to drop the shoulders. And then slowly, slowly lifting the legs up again. Come out of that twist. Lay flat on your back. Maybe a little sway through the knees. Maybe even hugging your knees to your chest. If you have your feet lifted up, you might take it into happy baby. Knees out wide, maybe reaching for the feet. Maybe encouraging your low back down again. You have your feet lifted. Just start to bring them back down. Knees together. Bring your feet to the ground. Rest your arms wherever is comfy. Maybe letting your knees tip together, maybe heel toeing the feet out a little bit wider. Maybe turning your toes to point in slightly. Just another moment here. Maybe feel your belly moving with your breath. You have your knees tipping towards one another, your feet out a little bit wider. Just bring everything back to a neutral place. Maybe feet and knees are hip width apart. You might take a gentle sway of the knees side to side. And then if you'd like to interlace your fingers just behind your head and lift your chin towards your collarbone a little bit, you might kind of do that same little feeling, little micro movement with the head. So if you just let your head get a little heavier and kind of push your hands into your head a little, try to create a touch length through the fingers, maybe through the wrists. that little micro movement. You're looking to your legs. You might send them out one leg at a time. You might let your head get a little heavier, but resist lowering it down. And eventually, over time, resting your head again and taking your hands out from behind it, moving them to your sides or somewhere comfortable. And settling into Shavasana. Find some stillness. Continue to notice your breath. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You might lift your arms, maybe turning your palms to face up and just interlacing the fingers, not the palms, the hands, just the fingers, and maybe lightly pulling them apart. Maybe rest your hands, or maybe it's your fingers on your forehead. You want a bigger stretch. You can let that go. Reach your arms above the head. And then just bend your knees. Roll over. And find your way up and into a comfy seat when you're ready. Bring some length into your spine. Maybe your hands will come together one final time. Awesome practice, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.